Welcome back, everybody. We are playing Planet Crafter today. Last episode was pretty epic. I got a lot done in the previous episode. I don't know if we're going to be able to top that for the entire rest of this series, but it was good. I've got a lot that I want to do today. Unfortunately, I made a big mistake, you guys. I am so sorry. I actually got a lot of work done thinking I was recording, and I wasn't. I hadn't started the recording. And so, unfortunately, you can't go back. There's no way to back up your saves. I can't undo the stuff that I did. So you can see my terraformation index is a bit higher than it was at the end of the previous episode. We did just hit liquid water. We're about 5% towards lakes now. So I apologize that some of that stuff got missed. I'll just kind of quickly recap what got missed, what I failed to record. Really, I just went and got some more super alloy because we're going to need a lot of super alloy for today's episode. There's a cave off in that direction where I found it. And also got another golden chest. And that was kind of it. So let's jump into what we want to get done today. I want to build a launch pad platform. The launch platform is going to allow us to launch some rockets. And the rockets are huge game changers. It's so good. I'll show you what those do as soon as we build this thing. And so I've already got all this stuff in my inventory because I accidentally built the launch pad already and just broke it down so I could do it again on camera. So we're going to come over here. And why is there a random iron? That must have been left over from... Yeah, I had some space food in my inventory, so when I broke everything down, there wasn't enough space for it all. Let me drop this out and pick up this iron. Whew, it's getting dark. So, this launch platform, it's huge. It is massive. It takes up so much space. And it actually makes it kind of hard to place because you got to find somewhere that has enough space to put it. And because it's so big, it's kind of hard to see the whole thing and the amount of space that it's covering. It also takes a lot of power. It just drained. It pushed me over my power limits. So the rest of the stuff in my inventory is to take care of that. For large structures like this that require a lot of power on their own, I kind of like to give them their own power source. And so I'm going to put a little scaffolding thing here. And then we're going to build 3 tier 2 solar panels. Each of these produces 19.5 energy. The launch pad requires 55 energy. So I'm getting about 58, 59 energy from the 3 solar panels, which is enough to cover the launch platform, plus a little bit more. I like to do that for these big ones just because I know that this thing is getting its own power. It's not drawing power from anything else. So like my main power generators, they're powering everything else. All my heaters, my drills, my atmospheric water collector. Those are coming from the base power. And then this thing has its own power. I'll probably do that with my ore extractors as well. Because ore extractors, these things also take 34 energy. So you can get that from 2 solar panels. 2 solar panels are going to be about 39 energy. So I like to set up some solar panels with my ore extractors as well. And that way I just know that I'm not just nickel and diming my energy from a bunch of stuff. So, what do we do with a launch platform? Well, as you would expect, we launch rockets from it, and we come up to the top. We've got this little interface. We can build an asteroids attraction rocket. This attracts uranium asteroids and gives a global heat generation bonus, which you see at the bottom. Heat multiplier 1000%. That's right. It is going to boost our heat rate by 10 times. The other one, magnesium field production rocket, is going to attract iridium rockets and give a global pressure multiplier of 1000%. What that means is the heat and pressure that we're getting from all of our heaters and drills and everything. Right now it's at 1150 for heat and 704 for pressure. These used to be a lot lower, but I'm sorry. I launched some rockets before I started recording, so now they're way boosted. But we can expect both of these to go up dramatically. They're not actually going to go up by a factor of 10 because what it's boosting is the heat and pressure rates from all of the equipment that's producing heat and pressure. So my heaters, my drills, all those things, that's what's going to get multiplied by 10, not the current rate. The current rate is also being affected by the heat multiplier from the rockets. So let's build a couple of these things. We need 2 rockets. So for that we need some iridium rods, uranium, and super alloy. We've got just enough super alloy. We'll get 4 uranium and 2 iridium rods. We'll build 2 rockets. And oh no, those also, each rocket, the rocket engine, well, oh, that only took 1 super alloy. So each rocket also requires 2 super alloy to actually launch. So I'm going to need to go get some more super alloy, you guys. Let's do this. Let's get some water. And we'll head back over to this area where there should be at least 2 super alloy just laying on the ground. I know we can craft super alloy, but I would rather find it out in the wild than craft it, just because crafting it takes a lot of resources. It takes a lot. It takes one of all of your basic resources, including aluminum. And I'm getting kind of low on aluminum. So let's get some of this super alloy that's just laying around first. So we only needed 2. Let me grab a few more just so that we've got some on hand for some future builds. We've reached that point in the game where super alloy is like the new iron. It's just everything seems to require it. So you're going to go through a lot of this stuff. Like every time I come over to this area now, I'm like constantly checking my my oxygen and water, keeping an eye on it, make sure I don't die. Alright, so I'm going to pop over here into my little outpost to top up on oxygen. And then we'll head back. Did we? Yeah, we got everything. It's kind of risky going off, not really exploring, but going off and doing stuff out in the wild with 2 rocket engines. If I died and lost those, I would cry. I would probably cry. Just because of how expensive they cost to craft. But we're not going to die again, right? We learned our lesson last time. We've got water. Let's go ahead and drink that. We're good. We're pros now. The rain in this game, it looks a little weird. It's not very rainy. It's more like little strings of wetness. Alright, so we'll head back. We will craft up, well, we don't craft rockets, we craft rocket engines, and then we can use those and the super alloys to launch a couple of rockets. So let me drop off all of the super alloy except for 4. And then we're also going to need 3 cobalt. Ooh, that's the last of my cobalt. And 3 silicon. I don't remember which one is for which rocket. I just know I need those 2 things to launch these 2 rockets. Alright, so let's launch the... I'm going to do the iridium one first. And so by selecting that, it's going to construct a rocket on the launch pad, and then we hit the launch to space button, and off it goes. It's actually a pretty cool animation. Just watch this thing fly off into space. There she goes. So what that's going to do is, it's like the description said, it's going to call down asteroids that, in this case, they have iridium cores. And so as soon as these things crash, rather than producing like iron and silicon and your basic resources that you get from normal meteor showers, these are going to leave iridium on the ground. Yeah, like the iridium that we got from the cave. And so these rockets, in addition to boosting your heat and pressure rates, they also give you free iridium and uranium. It's really nice. I'm going to go ahead and launch the other rocket. This one's going to call down uranium asteroids. And then we'll go around and start collecting this stuff. So we'll pop back into our base. We'll take a look at our rates. And so you can see that just went from 1150 to 2300. So it basically doubled it, which makes sense because, as I said, I accidentally launched 2 rockets before I realized I wasn't recording. And so those boosted my rates by 10%, by 1,000% initially. And so now my rates have been boosted by 2,000%. And so my heat is going up by 2,300 picokelvin per second, and my pressure is now going up by 1,400 nanopascals per second. Huge, huge boost to both of those rates. Rockets are so good. It's such a good way to boost those things. Let me get some food. Oh, I'm out of space. Alright, we'll just do that then. So now, even though I launched the second rocket, the first meteor storm was still going on, and so now the I think this is the uranium meteor storm is starting. You kind of want to get to these things fairly quickly because the loose iridium and uranium that's just sitting around on the ground, that will eventually despawn. I think it takes like 10 or 15 minutes for it to despawn, but it will eventually go away. And if the game crashes, which hasn't happened to me, I've not had the game crash yet, but my point is, if it closes in any way, if you exit, if you save and exit or whatever, when you come back, all this stuff is going to be gone. So make sure you collect it before you log out. Don't launch a rocket and then close the game. You're going to lose all the stuff that you got from it. That was a very small amount of iridium. Now, that being said, if you're going to launch 2 or more rockets, you might actually want to wait a little while before you start collecting the stuff, because I guess for performance reasons, the game is only going to allow so many chunks of rock to be in the game at one time. And so as soon as the second meteor storm starts, as you can see over here, all of the rock debris from this one is now gone, leaving behind the iridium for us to come pick up. It makes it a lot easier to find. So you might want to just wait a minute or 2 before you start collecting all this stuff, just to let the rock debris clear up. The rocks will also despawn before the iridium and the uranium do. And so we could also just wait a few minutes for all this stuff to go away on its own and then come pick it up. But we're here. We need this stuff. We don't want to miss any of it. But it's a good idea, after you think you've gotten everything, to just come back in a few minutes and after the rocks have despawned and just see if you missed any. It's kind of hard to miss when all the rocks are gone, because the stuff is going to have a green or a red glow to it. So you can see it from pretty far away. Alright, I need to hop into my outpost over here for oxygen. We're not doing that again. That being dying from oxygen depletion. Alright, I know a few of them came down over here. Looks like one of them hit my bio base over here. Fortunately, structures can't be destroyed. They can't be destroyed by meteors falling from the sky. You can destroy them with your little gun there, but not by meteors. So you don't have to worry about taking structural damage from these. Oh, sometimes they're hard to get to. Hey, look at this. Look at this. Our first water has started to appear. That's exciting. That's the first significant change since really blue sky. Like clouds and rain, they're nice, but they just kind of blend in. The clouds are part of the sky, which is now blue. It's not a huge, significant wow change, but the water, that's a wow change. That's like, whoa. Nuclear reactor tier 2. We also unlocked the algae generator earlier. Algae generator is really good. We need algae for some of our biolab builds, but it has to be placed in water. And so it's not going to do us any good until the water rises a little bit higher. Wow, I've got no inventory space for this stuff. I'm going to turn some of these into rods just to make it easier to store. Let's see, we'll make one more uranium rod. And we'll go collect the rest of this stuff. Now, as we slowly make progress towards lakes, the water levels around the planet will slowly rise. I've never just sat here and tried to watch it. I don't know if it rises at a rate that you can see. Why can't I pick this up? It's weird. Yeah, I don't know if you can sit here and watch it rise. It does kind of go up and down a little bit like water does. But yeah, you go do stuff, you come back, and it's a little bit higher. Go do stuff, you come back, it's a little bit higher than it was before. So it's kind of cool to watch the water levels rise as you make progress towards lakes. This stuff, we need to get this ASAP. Yeah, see, I already can't pick these up because they're partially submerged. That's the downside. As the water levels start rising, it starts cutting off access to some of these resources that are partially submerged. Once they're fully submerged, for some reason, we can collect them again. But when they're partially submerged, we cannot. So I think we're just going to lose these 2 iridium. The other nice thing about these rockets, there's like no downsides to launching rockets, you guys. None at all. Other than it takes a lot of super alloy. But the other good thing about them is with the iridium and uranium ones specifically, you get more iridium and uranium from the meteor storms that they attract, from the asteroids that they attract, than it costs to make them. And so these things are kind of self-sufficient, with the exception of the super alloys. You have to come up with the super alloys from somewhere else. Alright, I think that's it. Nope, there's some more. I'm going to top off on oxygen first. Getting a little low. I saw a little bit more iridium out there. And I think... Do I see some over by that ship, or is that just the glow of the engines? I think there's some iridium over there by the ship. Oh, here's some more down here. Ooh. Wow, there is so much stuff in that container. Those containers are not that big. Why is there so much stuff in there? That's interesting. We might need to drop some of this off. If there is more, excuse me, if there is more over by the ship, we may need to drop some of this off here to make room for it. Yep. So I think you can probably expect like 18 to 24 iridium and uranium from the meteor storms that these things call down. And since it takes 1 iridium rod, which requires 9 iridium, and 2 uranium to construct a rocket engine, then yeah, you can, from the resources you get from these 2 things, you can construct 2 or 3 more rocket engines. It's really nice. Oh my goodness. Alright, we'll come back for that one. We need to go back and get the other stuff that we left in the chest, so I'll pick that one up on our way. I think it might actually be time for another large storage crate over here. I think we're going to put all of our iridium. Wow, so much iridium. I think we're going to put all of this in one crate all by itself. The reason I'm terrible about this. When I craft something in the advanced crafting station, I always think I need to hit exit to get out, but it just opens my menu. So I'm going to put all my iridium in here. And I will put all of my uranium in this one. So I'll move this stuff over here. Because I've got enough iridium and uranium now that they need their own storage containers. And then we'll go back for the rest of the iridium that I left behind there. Yeah, launch pads, you guys, so good. It's a huge game changer. Huge increase to your heat and pressure rates, plus tons and tons of iridium and uranium, which you're going to start needing for the more advanced heaters, the more advanced nuclear power reactors, and just to build more rockets. All right, I think we've cleaned up. It's actually good that it's getting dark, because since the iridium and uranium glow, if we can get up to a nice high point, we can look around and see if we see any glow anywhere that we may have missed. Maybe up to the top of the launch pad. Yeah, I'm not seeing any. I think we got it all. If not, we got tons, so if we miss 1 or 2, it's not the end of the world. Right. I think I'm going to go around now, and I am almost out of cobalt. I'm going to get some more cobalt. Not only is this going to be useful to make some more rockets, whichever rocket required cobalt, it's also used for making all the glass windows and the corner living compartments, which I love to use. So any base extensions, base modifications, we're going to need this stuff. And then of course iron, if we can find it. It's always in high demand. Did I build my tier 5 backpack? I did not. I unlocked the recipe for the tier 5 backpack. That may have happened off camera, unfortunately, but I didn't build it. So let's go do that, since we're going around collecting a bunch of stuff and we keep running out of inventory space. Yeah, I don't know why this one's off limits. I can't reach it for some reason. You know, it'd be really cool. I don't know if the game does this, but it'd be really cool if the water level only rises while it's raining. That would be neat. If you just sit here when it rains and watch the water level rise. Oh boy, yeah, we got some cobalt. Alright, let's go find some iron, because I want to do a little bit more base construction before we wrap things up. We're also going to need some titanium. I thought about building some more heaters and drills since the rates for both of those things were still pretty far behind our oxygen levels. But thanks to those rockets, we're now producing way more pressure and heat than oxygen. It would still be good to add more because the multipliers you get from the rockets are multiplying the rates from your heaters and drills. And so if you add more heaters and drills, then your rates are just going to go up even more. But I think it's not something I need to do today because those rockets kind of took care of the immediate need of getting those a little bit higher. I'm going to run out of iron near my base. And the next time I need iron, I'm going to have to go halfway across the world. Food's getting low, water's getting low, oxygen's getting low. We've got food. Water is actually the one we need to keep an eye on. I don't have a water bottle on me. That one can easily sneak up on you. Let's go ahead and eat our food. That's not going to quite fill us up. So we don't need to hold on to it. And then I think that's going to fill me up on inventory, so we'll head back. So we'll drop off our iron and titanium. Let me get some water first so it doesn't slip my mind. Let me look at the Tier 2 nuclear reactor. So this requires 3 uranium rods, but produces 331 energy per second versus the 86 from this one. So some quick back of the napkin math, I think that's 4 times as much energy, but it only uses 1 super alloy. So we could actually break down our 3 nuclear reactors and build 1 nuclear reactor Tier 2, but we need that explosive powder. Explosive powder comes from the biolab. You know, I built these things to put the veggie tubes on, and then we couldn't put them on there. I should break those down. So our biolab, this requires 2 sulfur and 1 iridium. We have sulfur and iridium. I'm going to put a little crate over here. And this will be a good place to keep some items that we need for our bio base in the future, like our sulfur. So we've got 3 sulfur. We only need 2, so that's fine. I'm going to grab a couple of iridium, and we'll just put those over here in this chest so that as we need to make more blast powder in the future, it will already be over here next to the crafting station that we make it with. Alright, so this is going to be fun. I'm going to build a foundation grid. We'll put this right here. Everything's going to shut down. And then we will build 1 Tier 2 reactor right there. That looks a little weird. It's actually a little bit bigger than the foundation grid. So let me build a few more of these around it. And then I'll move it over so it's not hanging off the edge. I kind of wanted to do this for a long time. I wanted to build something to put our power generators on so they weren't just kind of sitting on the ground. And since these nuclear reactors Tier 2, we're going to have those pretty much the rest of the game. I don't know that I will ever deconstruct those. It seems like a good time to build something to put them on. Here's all my iron. Wow, I was looking in the wrong spot. Let's pick up some of this other stuff while we're out here. Alright, so let's do this. Uh-oh. Out of inventory space. We'll drop some iron. Pick up our explosive powder. And now, let's see if I can kind of get it centered on that line. I know it's not centered on this one, but as we need to build more of these, we can throw on some additional foundation grids here and just place more next to it. That's good. I think I'm also going to build some stairs up to it. Even though we have a jetpack and we can reach it, this just looks better. If you're going to have something elevated, you might as well have some stairs to get up to it. How's our food coming? 92, 92. I think after these grow, I'm going to move my food growers into my biolab over here. And actually, I want to build a door on this side. Let's be able to get into our biodome from this side and not just have to go around. And then we'll throw in some foundation grids. This might be easier to do from inside the door. We'll build another little bridge from this side to get out and around. Maybe? Oh, that didn't work. Let me do this. I'll build another one right there that I can stand on. Maybe that'll be a little bit easier. That's better. That's better. And we'll build ourselves another little bridge that comes out to this door. That way we can get into our biodome from this side. So the biodome, it's kind of weird. It says perfect place to grow plants and generate O2, which I always took as like you should build vegetubes and food growers in here, but it doesn't actually have any effect on those sorts of things that you build inside of it. So I think it just means the biodome produces oxygen. I think that's really all that means. Let's get a few more iron to finish that bridge. We got a lot of super alloy back from breaking down those tier 1 nuclear generators. That was nice. We'll build one more. For some reason these can clip through the ground, which is nice because then you can do stuff like this. Alright, so we got another little entrance to our bio base over here. I think last thing I want to do today is let's start building up. Everything's very flat right now. Everything's one story. And I want to have like an observation tower. I want to build a really, really tall observation tower. We're going to need a lot of living compartments and a lot of ladders. I didn't realize that those use cobalt, but it's a good thing that we got a bunch of cobalt. Let's drop off some of this water, which we are running out of space over here. We're going to build another small crate just for water. Go drop off our super alloy. Wow, we're out of this stuff earlier, and now we've got super alloy coming out of our ears. So I've got enough cobalt for 7 ladders. Let's do one more, which means we're going to need 7 iron. And then for 7 living compartments, that's going to be 14 iron and 7 titanium. Yeah, I don't have enough inventory for that. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll do 4. Come back and get the rest. So, ladders. Ladders are kind of strange. They have to be built indoors. They only go up. So I could build a ladder, and apparently they can only rotate 90 degrees. Let's do a ladder right here. Is that a weird spot for it? That is kind of weird. Huh, what? Did I? Oh, I deconstructed the living compartment, not the ladder. Weird. Okay, we'll drop that and that. We'll pick up that and reconstruct our living compartment. Alright, let's try this again. Let me get up on top and I'll kind of illustrate this. I can put a ladder up here, but I can't put one down into the living compartment below it. So that's what I mean. They don't only have to be placed indoors, but you can't place them below the structure, or in the structure below you. So let me put it right here. Actually, I think I want it. Yeah, let's do it on this side. So do a ladder right there. Click on that, and we go up. And then we can build a living compartment on top that ladder will take us into. Let me get some water. So now if I take this ladder, I'm inside of a living compartment. And we're just going to repeat this process. We'll do ladder here, which will take us up. I can't put the living compartment on where I'm at, but I should be able to put it from below. Yeah, so we'll do living compartment, ladder, living compartment, ladder, and how much? Ooh, I'm out of titanium. So let me do one more ladder here. Now I'm up on top, and on the outside, I can go get some more resources. Let's do 4 more compartments. It's going to be... Oh, I don't have enough iron for 4 more. Well, looks like iron's back on the menu, boys. Let's go get some more iron. Yeah, we're going to need a lot more iron anyways, because I'm not just building a tower. I'm going to build some structures at the very top of this thing. And so we need enough iron and titanium for more living compartments. We just need lots of this stuff. All the time. Hey, look at that. Whoa, that was a lot of stuff. Ooh, there's a microchip. Don't want the silicon. We'll take the titanium. Nice. I'll have to remember cash in that microchip when we get back. Missed some iridium. Definitely grab that before it despawns. Holy cow, we missed some iridium. Uranium, sorry. That one's stuck in the water. Inventory full. Oh, that's okay. I would rather have the iron because uranium has now become very easy to get. It's not a super rare resource like it used to be. So we've got a tower that is 4 living compartments tall. Unfortunately, this is the best way I know how to do this. There's not a way that I know of to build something really tall that you can just click and go up to the very top. So what do we get? Map screen. Okay, so now we could launch a GPS rocket. You need a map screen to launch the GPS rocket, and so it wouldn't have done us any good before. So let's head back up, and we'll continue on with our living compartments and ladders. I think I need to go get some more titanium. No, I've got titanium. How are we doing? We can do one more. All right, and oh goodness, I'm out of cobalt, so I can't build another ladder, which means I have to go down the long way. Whoa, what? Why are there 2 ladders here? That's weird. I'm a little stuck, guys. Okay, so this is the ladder that should be there. I don't know where that ladder came from. Let me deconstruct it, which means everything is now off by 90 degrees. I like building these so that they're just turned to the right and there's the next ladder. Oh, good. Okay. Nice. So we ended up on top. So let me hop down. and activate my jetpack so I don't crash and burn. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's nice. I'm gonna go up one more. I'm gonna go up one more, which means I need some more cobalt and lots of iron. So one more is going to be the start of the living area up there. And then we're going to have a bunch of living compartments sort of hanging off of that. More uranium that we missed. Other than the starting area, yeah, I know there's some iridium over there. I'm not going to worry about it. I've got plenty of iridium and uranium at this point. What I need is iron. It's too bad you can't call down an iron meteor storm. I don't know if there are parts of the world that are better for finding iron than other places. You know what we may do next time? Since we're starting to use up all the resources that are around us, is may start building some ore extractors, because ore extractors aren't just good for getting things like aluminum and sulfur and super alloys from different areas that produce those things. You could also just build an ore extractor next to your base and get your basic ores, your iron, silicon, titanium, cobalt, and that way you don't have to go running around looking for them. I think, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That might actually be enough. It might be enough. Cut through here to our outpost, top up on oxygen, and find a few more pieces of iron along the way. That should be enough for sure. For sure. Alright, so the plan is to build one more living compartment on top and then create like this ring structure of those corner living compartments around it. So we're going to need a lot of cobalt for that. Probably more than we can carry in one trip. Put our uranium away and grab one more cobalt, and then we'll head up to the top of our tower. And boom. Alright, so we'll go back down, build one more living compartment, and then sticking off of this, I'm going to do living compartment there, there, there. Oh, and I'm one titanium short. Alright, so I am going to have a ladder going up on top of this thing just because it's so much easier to jump off to get down rather than taking the ladders back down. So grab one more titanium. I'm going to need one for each of these. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm also going to need some windows. So we'll need 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's enough for everything. Oh, my water is getting low. That is good to know because I don't have any water on me. So living compartment, I think we're gonna have to get up on top to place these because these have to be rotated, so I need to be able to see the orientation. Like that. And one there. And one there. And then finally, we'll just do some windows on the 4 flat sides. Oh, one iron short. You know, maybe that's okay. Maybe we have one wall that we'll like put a desk or something up against that. So yeah, this is our tower. Let's hop down, we'll get some water, and then we'll see how it looks from a distance. Put all this stuff in there. Yeah, it looks pretty good. It's a nice little observation tower. You know, we could go up even higher with it and just be able to see farther. I kind of like having something like this when you launch a rocket and call down a meteor storm, just so you can kind of see where everything lands, where all the meteors hit. What I'm going to do with my beacon there is move it up to the top. Let's move it up to the tip top of this. It's a good spot for a beacon. And I'm going to crank it down a little bit closer to the white. And now, if we're out exploring and we need to find our way back to our base beacon should always be the one that's like way up in the air and not on the same horizontal plane as everything else. Let me see if I can find one more iron nearby, because I also want to put a door into this thing from the outside. So let's throw a door like right here. And that way, if we're outside already, like maybe if we launch a rocket, we can just hop over to this door and climb our tower. There we go. Look at that. Yeah. Looks pretty good. It's a nice view up here. It's a nice view. We can start to see more water patches filling in here and there. Our lake is really filling up. That's looking good. I'm looking forward to finishing our bio base. Let's go check on our progress towards the Tier 2 biodome. Tier 2 biodome. That's next at 12 nano Kelvin. Yeah, it always takes me a second to remember my units. So we're halfway there. We're halfway to the Tier 2 biodome. And that comes from heat, so maybe next time we'll build a couple more heaters, maybe launch a couple more rockets, and really crank up the heat in here. But yeah, we're doing good. We're making good progress towards our terraforming. We're starting to see liquid water form on the planet. We built a launch pad, and we've launched rockets to really crank up our rates. And we built ourselves a little observation deck, which also just looks really cool. That looks very sci-fi, pop-up base on an alien planet sort of thing. Yeah. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I apologize again for the mishap at the beginning of the episode with doing a bunch of stuff before the recording started. I'll try to catch that again in the future so it doesn't happen. And I will see y'all next time. Thank you.